Well, good morning, chat. Oh, it is a beautiful Saturday. Originally, we're going to do the Gale arc, finish that up, and then shit on Portland and Seattle. And a few other things to talk about, too. The TF2 market crash, a Bitcoin bounty that had been put up on Redditors' heads, because who doesn't like to try to hunt down the identities of Redditors? Apparently, the cryptocurrency subreddit is in the middle of a shitstorm, and somebody's paying about 10 grand to dox their ass. That was going to be another one of the stories. Different things, various things, entertaining things. But I saw a video really early this morning, and I can't make sense of it. Maybe you can help me out with it. It's put up by Tommy Robinson, which is weird because I thought his ass was in jail. Apparently, one of his compatriots uploaded a video shitting on another person, Mark Collette, and I cannot make heads or tails of why they'd be doing this. You know, I noticed a few weird things. I want to focus on that. That's our Saturday morning stream. We're going to take a look at this horrendous approach to black PR and laugh about why it's so badly and poorly done. Because, you know, good black PR, when you're really trying to tar and feather a motherfucker, when you're trying to just destroy them, there should be no openings. It should be solid, tight, locked down. You hit him hard, and everybody walks away going, yep, that guy's a fucking asshole. If you fuck it up, though, you leave yourself open to people asking all sorts of questions. Like, why are you doing this? And why are you taking this approach to doing what you're apparently attempting to do? It's just bizarre to me. A lot of things about this are really fucking weird. The first thing I noticed that caught my attention with this particular video was the name change. If you go look on social media to people that were tweeting this out, this fucking video, it's just, this is a random tweet to show you what I'm talking about. The original title of the video was Addressing Nationalism and the Elephant in the Room. And it must have been, I don't know, within matters of minutes, maybe a short span of an hour, that it was suddenly changed to How to Burn a Real Nazi. It's like they decided, fuck it, we're going to just quadruple down. We're not even going to, fuck respectability. Addressing nationalism, elephant in the room. Let's burn a Nazi. A real Nazi. The other thing that caught my attention about this retarded shit was comments and ratings are disabled. I'm surprised. I thought you were burning a real Nazi. Who's gonna disagree with that? Nazis are bad. They're evil, horrible people. You should have the comments and the ratings open, so everybody can applaud this video. But strangely, no. No ratings, no comments. It's very strange. So we're gonna watch this masterpiece of black PR put together by a really high quality team of smart individuals who don't look like fucking asshats for doing it, and try to puzzle it out. Try to figure out what exactly they're trying to say here. It's very, very bizarre. Let's take a look at this just utter masterpiece of propaganda put together by just the best of the best. All right, I think we're good to go. All right, chat. Let's find out how to burn a real Nazi. Presented by Tommy Robinson. Direct from prison. Oh, what the hell is going on now? Boy, god damn it. Everything is just going tits up on me this morning. All right. There we go.
But you
I think that should do it. Yep, that did it. Just get everything set up. Okay, here we go. How to burn a real Nazi. Let's take a listen. Addressing Jewish conspiracies. The fallout from Shazia Hobbs and the real far right. I want you to keep that name in your head. Shazia, Shazam. Maybe this is the female relative. This is a sister of a black genie. I don't know. Shazizzle. The Hobbinator. I don't know how to pronounce this name. I'm not even going to pretend I do. But for me, it seems like that's supposed to be the focus of the video. Yeah, Shazia Hobbs, Shazia. But for whatever reason, the majority of the video is just shitting on Mark Collette. So let's again, very bizarre. Started out with this and then right into Collette.
But you would invite me around for dinner?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Just checking that. Now we've got matching black shirts. I expect your invitation to be following shortly. We've been friends for some time now, and we've got on pretty much very well since the first time we spoke on the phone. I remember you called me when I was having some work done on my house, and we had a bit of a chat, and I had to go to speak to the workmen. I came back and we chatted some more, and I remember I had a little drive then. I think we spoke for about well over an hour on our first...
Almost 2 hours, I think it was.
Shazia Hobbs and Mark Collette are friends.
Holy shit. Oh boy, that's a bombshell. They are friends. Well, I say we execute them both. This is just far too much. Shazia Hobbs and Mark Collette are friends. All right. Dangerous times we live in.
Who is Mark Collette? It's best that he describes himself. We don't need to.
Who's this dude? That's Ian Stewart. He used to sing in a band called Screwdriver, but sadly he's dead now. Somebody cut his brake cable. Who do you reckon? Lefties or government, depending.
Screwdriver was a white power punk rock band back in the day. Ian Stewart was the lead singer of the band. Here's a picture of Ian Stewart cuddling his Nazi flag.
Okay, this is the first clue. This is the first clue that you're watching black PR, and really bad black PR. Video starts off with basically we have a problem with Shazia Hobbs, and then it segues into Shazia Hobbs is friends with Mark Collette. And then from Mark Collette, it transitions into Mark Collette listens to music. Music, which is sung by a fucking Nazi. Ergo, Mark Collette loves Nazi music. Ergo, Shazia Hobbs co-signs it. They're all filthy fucking Nazis. Look at the chain of custody with their musical tastes. This is such a bad fucking start to a video. What is this video about? Well, let's watch more and find out.
In and amongst all of his Nazi paraphernalia. Here is another picture of Ian Stewart with his KKK friend.
Awesome. You know, I like listening to Michael Jackson music, and I hate pedophiles. What are you going with here? He's talking about, this fucking musician. This goddamn Nazi musician. This fucking horrendous musician. Look at him shaking hands with a Klans member. How can you listen to these horrible lyrics? Like, motherfucker. All right, beat it and jam some good shit, okay? I know Michael is a fucking living skeleton, a child molesting living skeleton that's fed on the souls of orphans. But good music's good music, man. This is just a really weird fucking start.
And the BNP seems to have got this bizarre negative reputation.
Well, basically, the BNP is just like, what we say is like, vote for us, and we're like the voice of Britain, we're like the voice of working people like yourself.
Mark clearly enjoyed being filmed.
Look at him drinking alcohol like a Nazi would. Oh, Mark Collette, while drinking a vase full. By the way, Britain, holy shit, I didn't know you served liquor in vases. That's, over here in America, we put flowers in those. We fill them up with water. Apparently, you just fill the whole fucking thing with liquor. Drinking a vase full of liquor. Probably had a fucking 8-track of Nazi music in his back pocket. Asking everybody, hey, could you play my Betamax video? Could you play my Betamax video of this Klan band? This punk rock Klan band?
But I'd been aware for some time that there were things he'd say only when he thought the camera was off. As the match went on, he began to confide in me. This time, I decided to leave the camera running.
We're like grains of sand on a beach, your soul is like a grain of sand, and there's certain grains of sand that aren't grains, they're wrong.
Okay, again, the preceding footage, what he showed just before. Have you ever been to a bar? Like, everybody's got this friend who wants to be Mr. Philosophy after having about 20 beers. This motherfucker drank a vase full of liquor. And now he's, dude, like, we're dust in the wind and shit, man. Like, grains of sand on the beach and shit. You ever read Plato? Hand me another vase full of liquor and I'll tell you about him.
And their souls are only kept alive by one thing, and that's other souls remembering them, other souls worshipping them. Hitler's still alive, Ray. So's Stalin, so's Churchill. Hitler will live on forever. I mean, maybe I will.
Does Mark Collett like black and white people mixing?
There were a couple of things that upset you last night, weren't there? Well, there were those two girls we were talking to.
It's just you see a nice fit blonde bird getting off with a big black guy, you think, you stupid little white slut. That's what I think. It's like...
You heard it here first. Mark Collett doesn't want to get cucked. What a bigot! Mark Collett, how can you not go to a bar and applaud as a bull mounts a woman in front of you? Why weren't you sweating? Why weren't you wiping the sweat off his brow as he christened her vagina with his semen? Mark Collett, you filthy bigot. maybe he's upset because, you know, he wanted to tap that and somebody beat him to it. He's a little bit mad. I mean, he's nursing a hangover from a vase full of liquor.
Like a fan, they think it's cool. To them, it's an accessory, like a Gucci bag. So I just think, you know, you brain-dead white slag.
But don't you think she just found him attractive?
The particular one we're talking about was a particularly repugnant black hair. No, you know, you see, no, I fail to see what anyone could find attractive about him. I really do, it bemuses me. It really does bemuse me.
Does Mark Collett think National Socialism was a good thing?
This fucking music, I feel like I'm watching Stranger Things. Where did they get the fucking background track for this? I keep expecting Eleven to run in and telekinetically slam Mark Collett into the bar for drinking vasefuls of liquor.
A lot of Mark Collett's time is now spent shuttling around Yorkshire, visiting British National Party branches. It was on these long drives, when Mark believed the camera was off, that I'd been getting real insights into his beliefs. On one trip, he started talking about Hitler's Germany.
National Socialism was the best solution for German people back in the 1930s. It's not the solution for British people in 2002. When people say, do you take any inspiration from that? I mean, I honestly can't understand how a man, who's seen the inner city hell of Britain today, can't look back on that era with a certain nostalgia and think, yeah, those people marching through the streets and all those happy people out in the streets, you know, saluting and everything was a bad thing. I honestly can't see how anyone can look round on this on this nightmarish society in places like Bradford, Birmingham, and think, you know, Germany in the 1930s was worse than that, because it wasn't, was it?
Oh, he's going all before Babylon on motherfuckers. Oh, National Socialism, that's a scary topic. Ooh, spooky. I love, okay, it starts off with, does Mark Collett think National Socialism is a good thing? And the first thing this motherfucker says is, it worked, it's probably good for the Germans in the 30s, but not for us right now. Who put this together? At least cut the second part out. You should edit it together to make, you know, really fucked up, different sounding audio. Who cares? Just have Mark Collett just saying, I love Hitler. Hitler is awesome. Vases full of liquor. Hitler. Hitler. Holocaust. Instead, it's, it works for them, but not for us. Oh, what a bastard he is.
Bradford and Oldham have massive problems with their Muslim population. Nobody is downplaying the issues that are clearly visible to anyone with eyes wide open. Using the troubles of these towns to promote white supremacy is a dark path to go down.
You know, chat, we're 5 minutes into this, and again, remember the start of the video? This is about some chick named Shazam. This video is about a girl named Shazam. And we've spent 5 minutes talking about Mark Collett and how much he likes his beer and how much he likes Nazi punk bands.
Our veterans fought Nazis. They didn't embrace National Socialism. So why should you?
You know, honestly though, would you prefer your kid growing up in Oldham and Burnley or 1930s Germany?
I mean, the thing is, look.
And that's a weird argument too. Our veterans didn't support National Socialism. They fought against it. Why would you? Well, British people, you're Your veterans, your forefathers, didn't support democracy either, you monarch-loving fucks. You fought against the filthy colonialists, and yet you're a democracy now. You think there were a bunch of British people at the time that said, hey, fuck the colonists, fuck democracy. How could you? Our veterans fought against that. What are you doing? God save the Queen.
A lot of people say that it was fine as long as you weren't Jewish then, in Germany in the 1930s.
Yeah, well, you know, fair enough. But from my point of view, and it must be from your point of view, you know, it would be better for your child to grow up there, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And we all know that the Jews had given the German people a bit of a whipping, and one of the thorns that people felt were in their sides. And look, I'm going to level with you. I'll never say this on camera, yeah? And you can say this to whoever you want, because it's true. The Jews have been thrown out of every country, including England. There's not a single European country the Jews have not been thrown out of.
I cannot verify this fact. I don't know. Should I Google it? Oh, wait, no, Google won't let me Google something like that. I don't know if they've been thrown out of every European country. Okay.
Let's face it, David. When it happens that many times, it's not just persecution. There's no smoke without fire.
Why does Mark Collette like AIDS so much?
I love this question. This is a good one. This is worded so well. This is worded so well. He should have taken the footage of him talking about the black guy and made it sound like Mark Collette wanted to suck black dick. Why does Mark Collette like AIDS so much? Black men, big dicks. That's what he should have done.
Say that though, black men are, what is it? It's like 60 times more likely to have AIDS than a white man.
Really?
Their genes, by nature, are more sort of promiscuous. I mean, I remember at the time when AIDS first came out, my dad said it. He said at the time they should just have got the first couple of weeks with AIDS, drag them off, put a bullet in the head and just forgotten about it. But at the time it was like, oh no, you got to treat them as human beings. Blacks, drug users and gays all have it. So really, I've got no problem with AIDS.
Oh my God. Well, as a gay black man that likes to shoot heroin, I don't think I can watch Mark Collette anymore. I think this is where I need to turn my support of him off. It's a bridge too far, Mark. It's a bridge. As a paused African American that loves his smack, I'm going to go chase the dragon, Mark, and try to forget about what you said. It's very hurtful. It's very, very hurtful.
But I would call it a friendly disease.
Does Mark Collette have any affection or sympathy for Adolf Hitler?
But I could see little difference between Mark's repackaged BNP and the neo-Nazi NF. I knew there were at least Nazi sympathies within the BNP, and I had evidence on tape. For months I'd let Mark's views go unchallenged, knowing that a confrontation would jeopardise our relationship. So I went back to see him for what would be our last encounter.
Mark, I have something to tell you. You may not be aware of this, me, the guy walking around with the giant camera on his shoulder, but I'm secretly a Jew. You've been rused, buddy. I bet you thought that yarmulke was just a hip hat the kids were wearing, Mark. But no, I'm actually one of the chosen, and you've been bamboozled.
I don't really have any affection for Hitler at all. I mean, you can say I do. There's no Nazi paraphernalia around my house.
It's not to do with Nazi paraphernalia around your house. It's to do with the things you've said to me.
Well, you know, you can say that I've said things and I can deny them, but which I'm sure we can go into. But I have no great affection for Hitler or the Third Reich.
You have told me that Hitler's Germany, 1930s Germany, was a better place to bring up children than Oldham is in 2002. You've told me that you can't understand how, when people look at the Nazis marching and saluting in the street, they can fail to be inspired and feel a sense of nostalgia for that. And that National Socialism was the best solution for Germany in the 30s.
When did I say these things? Have you got any evidence of me saying these things?
Oh, busted! You were busted, Mr. Collette! This is what happens. See, folks, let me give you a little PSA here. Don't drink vases full of beer. Otherwise, the guy with the giant camera is going to nail your ass. Mark, can you answer these terrible things you've said? These really fucking banal, mundane things that you've said. Not really extremist. I don't hear you screaming "kike" at the top of your lung. I don't. You're not dropping N-bombs all over the place, talking about blood in the streets and purifying the race. You know, just, oh God, Mark, how could you say it? How could you say 1930s Germany wasn't awful? Mark, what kind of a bigot are you?
You said these things to me in your car on a trip to Bradford.
Did I say these things? Where's your evidence of saying these things?
Mark, don't...
Where is your evidence of...
Mark, why do you think I remember these things so well?
Well, you can say anyone said things like this, but without evidence, how can we?
Okay, if I had evidence of you having said that, would this change the conversation?
If you had evidence of me saying that, then obviously I would have said it.
Okay, Mark, you said it, and it was all recorded.
You've been punked, motherfucker. You're busted. Oh, is your ass sore? Oh, you got fucked, buddy. You got fucked. I have evidence of you saying these three things. You know, if Mark Collette in private was saying the world's most terrible shit, if he was just saying balls to the walls, insane, genocidal shit, it would have been in this video, right? That would be what he's hitting him with. Instead, what has Collette said? Yeah, I think AIDS is kind of funny because of who it targets. 1930s Germany wasn't so bad. And he listens to punk Nazi music. Okay. Okay. Even if the premise is Mark Collette's a fucking Nazi, what does this have to do with Shazam? I'm fucking confused. Right? The very start of the video, we're talking about Shazam. And it's spent now 8.5 minutes talking about how Shazam knows Mark Collette. And Mark Collette said these things.
Really?
Yes.
Well, can you leave my house, please? I don't know what to say. You've betrayed me.
Can Mark Collette be honest about his beliefs?
Sure he can, if he get him really drunk and bring a camera.
When Mark came back, he insisted I turn the camera off.
Can you just turn it off for 5 minutes while I just say some things I've got to say to you?
We talked for more than an hour. Eventually, he agreed to continue the interview.
Start with the questions about... I'm going to answer all your questions honestly now.
Are you?
You want what was on that tape, yeah? The shock and everything, let's scrap that and let's get on with it and answering this properly.
Okay, well... Start with telling me about your affection for Nazi Germany then.
You're referring to what I said in the car. I'm not a Nazi, but if you want to call me a Nazi sympathiser, you can. You said the things I said to you then disgusted you. And you quoted me as saying, I'd rather have lived in the 1930s than I would in Oldham. Yeah, that might disgust some people. You go to Oldham.
Mark.
You go to a place...
There are millions of people being exterminated in Oldham.
White people in Oldham are being...
There are not millions of people being exterminated in Oldham.
Look, we, or people like me, or young people, or the people you saw with tattoos on, or the people you saw with wacky shirts on, they feel an affinity for something because they feel totally betrayed and they feel that white people are being sold out today. And the only person they're told in the history books that ever stuck up for white people was Hitler.
We've been together since February. Okay, I'm Jewish by racial descent.
Oh, I fucking called it! That was a joke! I made a joke earlier about him secretly being Jewish! I called that! By the way, here's the big reveal. I'm really Jewish. Oh, wink wink. Mark, did you not notice the yarmulke? When he told you he had to go celebrate Hanukkah, did you think that was code word for something else?
The answer to whether or not I'd rather have my children growing up in Germany in the 1930s is that my children would have been killed in Germany in the 1930s.
Well, I had an inkling that you were a Jew, but you told me that you weren't, so I trusted you.
Well, you know, by Jewish law I'm not, but by racial descent I am.
Well...
You know, you've also said that you and I look very alike.
I'm not Jewish.
No, but do you not see the irony there? I mean, my skin is as white as yours. You've seen me all this time as white person. How do you see me as not white?
How does Mark Collette introduce himself now?
Okay, again, we are now 11. We're about a third of the way through the video. And back to my original reason I wanted to watch this with you and go over this is it's very confusing. It starts the video, it had a different title first off. And then it starts the video naming Shamalama Ding Dong, this chick, right? But then it veers directly to Mark Collette. And it stays on him for like the whole video. We're a third of the way through, and it's just Mark Collette, Mark Collette, Mark Collette. Did he shit in a box and ship it out to Tommy in his prison cell? Like, why did he suddenly decide, you know what I gotta do? Fuck my legal defense to get me out on these bullshit charges that have put me in prison. I gotta go teach Mark Collette a fucking lesson. Mark Collette has it coming. Screw the Muslims that are gonna fuck my ass raw. I gotta deal with that Mark Collette guy. That's the ticket. That's what I need to focus on. Again, it's just a very weird fucking video. I can't really put my finger on what the point of this was. But maybe we'll find out more as we go along. I mean, we're only 11 minutes in. Let's find out.
Well, I'm a British nationalist. I've been a nationalist for the best part of 2 decades. I was involved in the British National Party from the year 2000. I was initially the British National Party youth organiser. I did that for some time. Eventually, I ended up as the party's head of publicity.
God, what is with this fucking Twilight Zone fucking music playing over this? We went from Stranger Things, spooky, and now we've gone into basically like a techno Twilight Zone. I'm expecting spiders to burst out of Mark Collette's eyes right now. Who is Mark Collette? He is the spider overlord. Listen to the music.
Shazia Hobbs no longer contributes to...
Oh God, are we back to her? Oh, I forgot about her, spending 11 minutes on Mark Collette. Oh, here's Shamalama Ding Dong again. No longer contributes to TR News. Let's throw that in. Okay, back to Mark Collette and his love of vase liquor.
To TR News. Just about everyone will know this. Not because we went public, but because Shazia did. She did this with the help of some ethno-nationalist and anti-Semitic friends. People with a different ideological view and agenda to Tommy Robinson.
I've never been called an anti-Semite, but the last few weeks, the last month or so, I don't...
God, I think potatoes are growing up from my carpet right now. This accent is extraordinarily strong.
I wrote an article called Hypocrisy. So, so I'm an anti-Semite. I don't hate Jews. I don't want any violence towards Jews. Of course I don't. I don't want any violence towards anybody, really.
Shalom, motherfuckers! Oh, this lady's dangerous. How dare she use that word? Shalom, motherfuckers. I wonder what is in the gas chambers. Will the bar staff be arrested for anti-Seminergy? Okay. Oh, this was we're retweeted by Shamalama Ding Dong. Mark Collette, let's read it. If you discuss this or raise awareness about it, you will be accused of being a Jew hater and be told that it's only a small minority that do this. Small minority or not, it's still child abuse. This is a picture of an Orthodox Jew performing what is known as oral suction. What? During a circumcision ritual. This involves orally sucking blood from a baby's penis after the removal of the foreskin. Oh, Jewish people, what are you doing? If this activity was being carried out by any other religious right-wing celebrities would be up in arms. However, as it is, Jewish practice, this is conveniently ignored. I'm trying to imagine a Catholic priest, right? You bring the baby in for a baptism and then he pulls out a knife and he starts sucking on your baby's dick. Maybe Mark's got a point. Maybe people will be like, dude, that's a little fucked up. Oh, we got another one here. Let me read it for the chat. Again, retweeted by Shamalama Ding Dong. Born Free Saxon. Unless Prince Charles is a Jew, surely wearing a kipper would be an insult to real Jews. It's pandering to the extreme and completely unworthy of our so-called future king. Here's hoping not. I'm also struggling with the association of synagogue in Northern Ireland, a Christian nation to say the least. Oh wait, Goldman Sachs and whoever else holds the royal money bags. Got it. This one directly tweeted by Shazam. Today I will be mostly reading and writing. Okay. Terrible. How dare you read and write? Sharia and her friends have reached out to Mark Collette.
Hello. This video is a direct plea to Mark Collette. Mark, I hope that you get to watch this because
I'm really concerned, buddy. You've got a problem. A problem with drinking vases full of liquor. We're here to support you, Mark, but you need to want the help. You need to want the help to stop drinking liquor out of extraordinarily oversized glasses. It's not good for you. We're all deeply concerned, Mark.
Need your help.
Shaziah's friend believes there is a war with Judaism. Last time we looked, Judaism is not a proselytizing faith that encourages people to convert. Christianity is a proselytizing faith without the violence. Islam is a proselytizing faith backed up with a political supremacist ideology and the religious mandates to carry out acts of violence to bring in more followers and increase its power. Suggesting we are at war with Judaism is not truthful.
Hello. Well, a few days ago it was Holocaust Remembrance Day.
Oh, we got hot takes incoming, chat. Prepare yourself. I don't know where she's going to go with this. Rip D Live channel. Let me just tell the Chinese lemon emperor. We're just watching this. Okay, I don't know where she's going to go with this, but here we go.
Where on social media the usual virtue signalling, empty-brained people of the world pour their hearts out for people that they didn't even know, and without even researching the facts. And I get quite triggered by it, actually. But I just wanted to show you something. Oh yeah, before I show you that, it's quite astonishing that these blue checkmark people on Twitter, for example, write such things as "Let's all remember the 6 million Jews that died in the Holocaust," blah 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 blah. Well, funny that, because on this ADL hate site web page that I've shown you before, yeah, the ADL, if you go into that website and find the Zyklon B tattoo, you will read there that Zyklon B was the name of the gas used to kill over 1 million victims, most of them Jews, in the death camps constructed by Nazi Germany during the Holocaust. This is from the Anti-Defamation League.
Well, the Anti-Defamation League are bigots. I don't like their anti-Semitism, okay? Because I'm pretty sure, didn't they update the number? It's not 6 million anymore. Wasn't the newest push? It's like 12 million. Isn't that what they're claiming? So all the people going around saying, remember the 6 million, those are anti-Semites. Remember to call them on it. Are you arguing with the numbers? It's 12 million now.
So they're saying over 1 million. Well, do they mean 6 million or do they mean about 1 million? When are they going to get their stories straight? And when are people going to wake up to this bullshit and start researching facts, start researching the Holocaust, and stop wasting time pouring out
You know what I always found weird, especially about Europeans, is they put this spooky music over it. Oh my God, she's a Holocaust denier. How terrible. And then you're like, why do these people think the Holocaust was fake? Right? Why do people think the Holocaust wasn't as bad as it was? Why do people think millions didn't die? What's making them believe that? Why do they think that concentration camps were really summer resorts where people played volleyball all day? If you're putting into place laws that send people to prison for even questioning it, it's going to make people paranoid as fuck. If you were to put a law, if you were to enact, here's one. If you were to put a law in place in the United States that said, if you question that terrorists were the ones responsible for 9/11, if you question that, we're going to put you in prison for years. You can't deny 9/11. You can't deny our narrative and what we believe happened on 9/11. You would have millions of people, some who would never have even cared in the first place, suddenly saying, well, fuck, if they're putting laws in place to put me in prison for questioning it, there must be something fucked up going on. So Europe, Germany, countries like that, if you're going to enact laws that throw people into prison, little old ladies, into prison for denying the Holocaust, you're going to get all sorts of people start to say, I don't believe you. I think you're trying to bamboozle me.
False emotion. Just because you think it's the right thing to do, the virtuous thing to do. I'm sorry to say this, but you're all idiots. Those of you who pour out these false emotions, remembering the 6 million Jews that died in the Holocaust, you're nothing but empty-minded fools. Do some research and then ask these bodies, such as the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, exactly what they mean. Bye.
What triggers Dion? Is it that only?
Wait, is that a different chick? Okay, I thought we were talking about Shazam. That was Dion? That's a different one. I'm lost already. I don't know what the fuck's going on. First we started with Shamalama Ding Dong. Then we moved into 20 fucking minutes of Mark Collette. Now we got Dion looking shit up on Wikipedia to own the libs. I don't know what the fuck is happening.
1 million Jews were killed. Jews were slaughtered by Nazi Germany in many ways, from overwork, dehydration, starvation, being shot, gassed, beaten, and more. That's not bullshit. It actually happened.
Oh, well, case closed. Thank you, Tommy Robinson News. You know, I'm sure everybody who had doubts, those doubts are now allayed, right? They're totally on board. That's not bullshit. It actually happened. Case closed. Somebody ring up the Holocaust deniers and tell them Tommy Robinson News has solved the mystery. It's just not bullshit.
Dion tells everyone to stop pouring out false emotions and stop virtue signalling about the Holocaust. You shouldn't care about it. What has it got to do with you, apart from recognising a state-run genocide based on race and belief?
It's very tragic. State-run genocides have never happened before. Native Americans, Khmer Rouge, none of that shit. This is the one time in history that entire thing has ever happened. Don't go look up what Julius Caesar thought of French people. All right, that's all myth. When he decided he just wanted to wipe out 1 million of them because he couldn't fucking stand the French.
Actually, the number of Jews killed during the Holocaust were around 6 million, according to William Hottle, as he recalled a conversation he had with Adolf Eichmann. Eichmann was responsible for facilitating and managing the logistics involved in the mass deportation of Jews to ghettos and extermination camps. You can find those sources and numbers quoted in transcripts of the Nuremberg trials.
Thousands of comments over 1 year of this channel are telling me Tommy Robinson's a shill for Israel.
Tommy is not a Jewish shill.
Come on, Tommy. What the fuck? You can't. Dude. Come on. Who put this video together? Come on. we're 18 minutes into this. Okay? Tommy Robinson is not a Jewish shill. Dude, this entire video has been nothing but shit-talking people, calling them Nazis. You played Holocaust footage. You showed bodies. Tommy, what are you, dude? This is, if you want to say, hey, you know, all these people calling me a Jewish shill, here's why that's stupid, and here's why that's not true. That's fine, but maybe don't proceed that speech you're gonna give with 18 minutes of Holocaust footage and fucking shitting on Mark Collette.
He is his own man, makes his own decisions, and stands by them, whether people agree with him or not. Those are the qualities of a true leader.
I want to try to like create a comparison to this on how stupid this up to this point is. Okay, here we go. Here I got one for you. Imagine if I did a video talking about how petroleum was just the most wonderful substance on the face of the earth. My God, I love petroleum, oil and gas, all of that shit. Gets my dick hard. Look at all the amazing things we can do with it. And the companies, the companies that use petroleum, they're God's gift to humanity. And then after 18 minutes of doing that, I said, by the way, I'm not an oil shill. I don't work for Exxon. I don't know where people are getting that idea.
People who suggest Tommy is a Jewish shill tend to be people who have issues with all Jews. That says more about them than Tommy.
I watch a lot of your content, Mark. And I admire you.
After all...
Okay, alright, real talk here, chat. I think I know what's going on. I don't think she wants to talk about the number of Jews dead in the Holocaust. I think she wants to take a ride on Mark Collette's totem pole. Alright, she's thinking, hey Mark, hit me up. I want that D. Alright, this video is 18 minutes of cock blocking. Tommy Robinson, for some reason, has decided to intercede from prison to prevent Mark Collette from getting some pussy. This chick wants his dick. And Tommy is laying a hammer down on Mark Collette.
All that we have shown you about Mark Collette, do you really still admire him? Or do you see what hides beneath a slightly older and more polished exterior? Just because people touch on things that we oppose doesn't mean we have to admire their form of bastardized nationalism or them as individuals. Tommy has made this point very clear numerous times over the years. Yet the same ethno-nationalists must keep stirring up trouble and division in Tommy's movement with the help of their useful idiots.
Then I talk about Jews and Judaism, and I think, you know, we've got Islamophobia, and we have...
Okay, some people gave me... I watched this video, and I was really confused of what the fucking point was. And I asked people, am I missing something? Like, is there more to this story? And they talk a little bit about it at the end of the video. But apparently Shazam decided to write an article not about being an Arabian genie for a day, and talk about, like, race realism or something. And so they kicked her off the website or some shit. And for some reason, because of that, they've decided to attack Mark Collette. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Laws to protect Jewish people from criticism. And then all of a sudden, I'm not welcome in the movement, and, you know, where's your Israeli flag? And it's just crazy. And, you know, a lot of the people that are shouting and trying to shut me down from our side of, you know, have probably never even been to Israel. You know, and they're all pro-Israel and Zionists, so you put Israel first. Where is the love for your own country?
Tommy Robinson has visited Israel. Tommy Robinson supports Israel's right to exist and defend itself. Tommy Robinson understands that Israel is the only democracy in the Middle East.
Congrats for Tommy Robinson. Does he visit every other democracy? Does Tommy Robinson's dick get hard when he hears the word democracy? Has somebody told Tommy Robinson, "Hey Tommy, Canada's a democracy," and does Tommy get a massive erection and say, "We need to fly there right now. I need to meet these Canadians, and I need to embrace Mexicans too? It's a democracy down there? Oh, there's so many democracies, I can't stop ejaculating."
Does this mean that Tommy Robinson does not put the needs of Britain and British people first? People can and do support Israel and the right for Jews to live in their ancestral homeland. To suggest that anyone who
in their ancestral homeland. You mean on Philistine land? Oh, wait. Oh, that's going to get me banned. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll be quiet.
supports the same things as Tommy does are neglecting our beloved country is a disgraceful thing to suggest. We can support Germany's right to fight back against Islamisation. Does that also make us unpatriotic? Or does that form of logic not fit in with a manufactured anti-Jewish narrative?
There is this huge hypocrisy in, especially in the anti-Islam movement in the UK, especially amongst Tommy Robinson supporters, that somehow Israel is the great ally of the British people, that is.
I want to just throw this out here in case there are any Zionists listening to this. Like, if you're the biggest Israel lover ever, Tommy Robinson is making you look bad, bro. This video is horrible. All right, this video is just awful, and all it's gonna do is make people think the opposite of what it's trying to say. It's just constructed poorly. It's a very poorly made video. If I was a Zionist, I would be livid with Tommy Robinson right now.
Israel is in fact a nation that smiles upon people like Tommy Robinson, and that Jews are an ally of our cause. Well, in fact, this isn't strictly true.
The problem is that when people take all Jews as one homogeneous group who all think and do the same things, you open yourself up to ignorance and bigotry. Jews have different political affiliations. They can be found on the left, the right, and the centre, just as you would find here in Britain. TR News does not tar all Muslims with the same brush.
What the fuck are you talking about? Okay, 2153. Just chat. Remember that time code for me. I want to go find something they specifically said earlier on. We don't tar all Muslims with the same brush, because I'm pretty sure they literally did earlier on when they're talking about Islam. Oh, I wish I didn't think to write down the time code of this. This terrible video. Oh no, that's not what I want to do. Where is it? I know they said it. And it's in here somewhere, and it's gonna piss me off now, because now I'm not gonna be able to find it. It's when they were talking about proselytizing. Okay, I can quote what they said. I can't find the exact time code. You know that I'm not making it up. You can go look it up yourself. They're like, we don't tar all Muslims the same way as this evil, bigoted Nazi does to Jews. And then earlier on, they're like, Islam is a proselytizing religion that uses violence to force itself on everyone. It kind of sounds like you just did. It sounds like that's exactly what you just did. Oh my god. I don't know. Somebody find the time code. Just, if you want to have a good laugh, take those two clips and put them side by side. Because it's pretty funny, I'll be honest with you.
The same brush. So why would we make an exception for Jews? Politics, religion, and individual beliefs are nuanced. Failing to recognise or understand that nuance leads to propaganda, lies, disinformation, and exaggeration.
People say the same about Tommy Robinson. but you all go out and support him. Look, I have a lot of time for Tommy, as you know, but the media and a lot of people, not just the media, there is a lot of people out there that believe the lies that the media tell about Tommy. And I try and say to them, it's the exact same with Mark, you know, so.
Well, hopefully this will have won a few people over, and I hope people understand.
Comparing Mark Collett to Tommy Robinson is like trying to mix oil with water.
Oh, yeah, it's terrible. I mean, Mark Collett was in the BNP, right? The British Nationalist Party. Tommy Robinson was never a member of the BNP. I mean, if we were to go look that up right now, I'm fairly certain, right? I mean, he was never in that, was he? I'm just going to go double check. Just for the fun of it. Let me just go double check. Because they're oil and water, so obviously, opposite ends of the spectrum. Never a part of the same thing. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I'm confused. This can't be right. I mean, oil and water, chat. Oil and water. It says right here, though. Robinson joined the BNP, then led by Nick Griffin in 2004. No, that can't be right. The BNP's full of Nazis, and Tommy Robinson's not a Nazi, is he? He's not oil like icky Mark Collett is.
Mark Collett loves this. Tommy Robinson loves this. For anyone who still isn't sure of where Tommy stands on the issue of nationalism and race-based politics.
I said, what's going to happen today? I said, today we call it on. Yeah. And I got on stage, and you can watch the speech, and I hold up a Sikh lad's hand, and I say, this is the English Defence League. Yeah. This. We don't care about the colour of your skin. Now, there's people within this crowd, which I'm fully aware of because I've been following you. You've set your own little splinter groups up within our movement, and you have a completely different agenda to us. So I'm now going to call you out. Yeah. And I started listing their names. I said, show yourself, show yourself. And then I've done that, and I've noticed loads of them coming towards us. And I've come off the stage and just flattened him. Yeah. But essentially, I was the leader of the street protest movement. Yeah. We had tried everything else, and I don't want to stand with them people, I never will. And then when I come back to the coaches, they were waiting with corkscrews and bottles, and there was a massive fight. And this little, he was an anarchist, the cameraman for Channel 4. Yeah. When he got on the bus, we all got on, blood all over us. We'd just been, and he just said, I can't believe it. And I said, well, he goes, you're fighting the far right? Yeah. I said, yeah. Because they're awful. And he just said, my friends are not going to believe this. And he said, they're never going to believe this. I said, no, because you just think, and you know, the media told everyone, English Defence League fight each other. No, English Defence League were kicking out the far right. Yeah, yeah. And do you know what? It actually worked. So after that day, I said, I have things to do as a leader. And at that moment, I done that. And a lot of people thought it was the wrong thing and it was violent. And I said, we need to challenge these people. They need to know they're not welcome with us. And it worked. My upbringing and where I'm from, and many of the people I love, are black. Yeah? And I would never be able to walk around around my hometown with my head held up if I ever tolerated any white pride bullshit. Yeah.
See, here's what I'm confused about. If Tommy Robinson wanted to get the message out that I'm not a white nationalist, I don't believe in this stuff, I'm not a Nazi, whatever, why wouldn't they have made a video focusing on stuff like this? Just to let Robinson speak. It took 22 minutes to get to him saying this. 22 minutes of just a terrible attempt at black PR. When you could have made the video 2 or 3 minutes long and said, this is what Tommy Robinson believes. And there you go. A 2-minute segment of him saying, I don't co-sign it, that's not what I believe.
Or any of their agendas. So I've took, and when I say to these anti-racists, I've done more to take on racism and extremism than any of them. I've burned their Nazi flags. I've made a video. I remember I come out and I called it on with blood and honour.
You were punching Nazis before it was cool.
Yeah.
Oh, he was punching Nazis before it was cool, but don't throw milkshakes at him. That's assault. We like to joke about punching Nazis, but not milkshakes. That's fucking assault. I bought this suit at a Costco.
That's what we're saying. Because I mean, if Mike Stuckbury must be a big fan of your early work.
They've all got their own agenda. Yeah. But they'll never talk about that.
No,
they'll never talk about. You know, the media. So Lee Rigby gets killed. I'm giving my speech to 10,000 people in Newcastle with the height of any tensions. They never. The first thing I said is, There's 600 Muslims serving in the British Armed Forces. They're doing a hell of a lot more for this country than I am, or any of you standing here. If you go out and abuse a Muslim woman right now, you're an absolute coward.
Yes.
Yeah? You attack a mosque, you're a moron.
Yeah.
They never would. What they'll pick a little.
Again, why wasn't the entirety of the video? It could have 2-3 minutes, boom, impactful. He gets whatever message he wants to get out there. Very clear. This is what I believe. This is what I don't believe. Very simple. Instead, it becomes this smear piece, attempted smear piece, of Mark Collette, because for some reason, Mark Collette happened to talk to Shamalama Ding Dong, and Shazam wrote an article that Tommy Robinson doesn't like.
10 seconds of a video from 10 years ago, 12 years ago, and they'll portray this image. Which I said, that's not how it is.
Yeah.
That's not how it's been.
We believe wholeheartedly that Tommy's nationalism is the purest form of nationalism. It's not a nationalism based on the colour of your skin. It's a nationalism based on your love and devotion for country. Tommy's nationalism goes hand in hand with patriotism. If you love your country,
well, then they must love. It didn't. You know what? I want to double check this before I say this, just to make sure I'm correct on it before I go for this joke. Okay, I'm fairly certain I read about this. Sorry, chat. I should have been more prepared. Okay, let me just let me see if I've got this right. Oh boy. Okay, yeah, okay. So they must love this, right? It's about the love of your country. They must love that Boris Johnson has paved the way for amnesty for 500,000 illegal immigrants. They must be just overjoyed for it. They must be celebrating right now. Because I'm sure those 500,000 illegal immigrants they love the UK. Oh, they love it. Oh, we want to be nationalists, Tommy. Let us in. Oh, we love the Gibbs. We love the Gibbs, Tommy. Just open the door for us. Give us the Gibbs, Tommy.
you want to defend your country, then stand with us and don't let those who follow a bastardized and hateful form of nationalism sow division, hatred and disunity.
I don't know if you want to read that. It says English Defence League, since the formation of your organisation, your alliance with external enemies, the Zionists, you have blinded the disgruntled youth to today with your bastardised concept of nationalism. Our concept of nationalism was anyone is welcome to it. White, black, anyone, Muslim, Christian. If you're proud to be English, you're proud of the laws in this country, you're proud of our freedoms, you are welcome.
Winston Churchill is a national hero. He defeated the evil forces of Hitler's National Socialism. He liberated the world from a tyrannical, supremacist, race-based political ideology. It's a shame that Mark Collette does not share the same opinion of Churchill.
God, you know who else might not share that opinion of Churchill? All those dead people on Gallipoli. maybe they feel the same way Mark Collette does about Winston Churchill. Oh, here we go. This is a tweet from Mark Collette. Germany's unforgivable crime before World War II was its attempt to loosen its economy out of the world trade system and to build up its own exchange system for which the world finance couldn't profit anymore. Winston Churchill. Hashtag Churchill was not a hero.
Tommy Robinson venerates Winston Churchill as the hero he is. Tommy knows that the rising tide of Islamism is just another form of National Socialism wrapped up in a religious cloak. As Tommy has always said, Islamism and Nazism are opposite sides.
Uh-oh. Horseshoe theory confirmed. Horseshoe theory confirmed. Two things are somewhat similar, therefore they are exactly equal. This is why I wear a bowl on my head when I walk around outside, because the air we breathe has oxygen in it, and water does too. So via horseshoe theory, I don't want to drown. Now people think I'm crazy for wearing that fishbowl on my head, but I'm not going to drown. I am onto your tricks. You're not going to fool me.
Of the same coin. We need to fight both. Be proud of who you are. Be proud of your culture and your history. Be vigilant and watch out for those who are here to cause division. Attack Tommy and those who he has personally chosen to work with him. We love Tommy. We support Tommy. We will fight for Tommy. People who attack him and his movement while he is not here to defend himself should be treated as the agent provocateurs they are. We could have gone into much more detail surrounding the issue of Shazia Hobbs. She was not treated unfairly.
Okay, yeah, because I'm confused. You've mentioned Shazam here like 4 times in your 30-minute video, and I'm pretty sure that she was the focus of it, but the only way that you could attack her, apparently, was to attack her association with Mark Collette for some reason. So Mark Collette thinks AIDS is funny, isn't a big fan of Churchill, thought 1930s Germany was pretty neato, and drinks liquor from a vase. So therefore, Shazam is an awful person. It's almost like they didn't want to talk exactly about what Shazam has been saying, and they want to avoid that as much as they can, and so this is the best they could do.
Her article was pulled for 2 reasons. 1, it lacked the necessary facts and nuance. Because of this, it was worded in a way that would easily be
Oh shit, do you think did Tommy Robinson pull a Kraut? Is Shazam Tommy Robinson's Rage After Storm? Is that what's going on?
construed as being anti-Semitic, something Tommy opposes. Unfortunately, very few people were given that information, even though Shazia was made aware at the time of her article being pulled from the site as to the reasons why. The second reason is that TR News is Tommy's news website, not Shazia Hobbs' free speech platform. We will not get dragged into the idiocy or the hypocrisy of race-based politics.
Oh yeah. God, I'm getting really sick and tired of all these free speech advocates not being down with free speech when it chafes their ass. Tommy with this chick, Jordan Peterson did it to Faith Goldie. She was uninvited for associating with the wrong sorts of people, expressing the wrong sorts of opinions. I go back, and I keep going back every time I run into this shit. There's this little old Jewish guy that runs an organization called FIRE, Foundation of Individual Rights and Education. And something he said has always stuck with me because it's so fucking true. He's talking about the 60s and the hippies and shit, and watching that unfold, and he's talking about how they were bitching and bitching and bitching about wanting free speech. We want free speech, man. Fuck the establishment. Fuck the conservatives. But he said, in the end, they didn't want free speech. They wanted their speech. Because when they finally usurped that power structure, when they became the professors and the administrators, when they became the people in charge of the government, they didn't open it up to everybody. They didn't allow everybody to express themselves. They suppressed the people that they were arguing with in the first place. And he didn't like that. And it feels like to me, it feels like I keep encountering that. I keep seeing people, talk about free speech, but then at the same time be like, we don't co-sign this. I mean, listen to this. The second reason is that TR News is Tommy Robinson's news site, not Shazia Hobbs' free speech platform. We will not get dragged into the idiocy or hypocrisy of race-based politics. Okay, I mean, if that's the approach you want to take, don't get mad when you hear something like this. The second reason is that YouTube is Google's website, not Tommy Robinson's free speech platform. We will not get dragged into the idiocy or hypocrisy of anti-Islamism and nationalism. You see how that works? The whole point of being a free speech advocate, and, there is a point to me bringing this up because Tommy Robinson was an advisor to UKIP, and UKIP is repositioning itself right now as being 2 things, really. Free speech advocates and anti-Islam. And to then turn around and be like, oh, well, we don't like her opinion. Especially in Europe. Especially in Europe where if you say the wrong thing, you get thrown in a fucking jail cell. I'm gobsmacked that I'm hearing this shit. It feels to me like there's more to this and I can't suss it out because I don't follow these fucking people. I don't follow Tommy Robinson. I'm not. I know a little bit about him. I know a little bit about him, like I know a little bit about Mark Collette. I've never heard of Shazia before, so it just something is happening, and this feels like a first strike. This video feels like this is their opening, and they wanted to get their opening out before anybody else did, and it's so bad. This propaganda, this black PR is so bad. I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to discredit Shazam, but they're doing it through her association with Mark Collette. So they've made a 30-minute video with 25 minutes of it talking about Mark Collette. What the fuck does he have to do with anything? If you don't like what she wrote and what she's saying, address her. Don't put it as a closing paragraph in your 30-minute video. Because it makes you look scummy. It makes you look like you're trying to hide shit. And if your real message was Tommy Robinson is not a Nazi and he doesn't believe in ethno-nationalism, you could have done that in 2 to 3 minutes with the clip you showed near the very end where he says that. So it's a very confusing, poorly put together video that I think is doing the opposite of what it's trying to intend to do.
Tommy is aware of what's been going on in his absence. To say how disappointed he is with people he thought were on board with this movement would be an understatement, to say the least. Tommy has asked that everyone needs to unite and keep up the pressure on our government. A government who persecutes anyone who they see as a danger to their totalitarian democracy, and apparent sympathy for Muslim child rapists. Tommy has been overwhelmed with the support he's been receiving and wants to thank you all for that. Your support helped sustain him during his political incarceration. Tommy hasn't given up, neither should you. The fight continues. Never, ever surrender.
Okay, you want to talk about this? Just take a minute to really take in what this is. This particular shot, I think, is what really struck me as being like, okay, these guys are really going out on a limb here to try to hit first for some reason. They put up a picture with him with a human giraffe hybrid. I believe she keeps her copy of Mein Kampf in her throat. This, by the way, kids, don't get a throat tattoo if you've got a long neck. It makes it look even longer. But they're putting up a picture of Mark with an ex-girlfriend, right? What does that have to do with fucking anything in this video? What does that have to do with Shazam and the article she wrote that apparently you hate so much? What does that have to do with Tommy Robinson and his belief in free speech and anti-Muslim rape gangs? Is there a reason? She's got a swastika on her chest? Okay. All right. Is there, dude, guys will fuck anyone. Just, I'm putting that out there. Maybe you're reading too much into this. Maybe if a mocha-colored sister walked up to Collette and said, hey, yo, give me some of that dick, white boy, he'd be all aboard it. Who knows? I've never seen, I don't know how many people Mark Collette's dated. But this is some underhanded shit, man. Well, there you go, chat. That was a video. 30 minutes of meandering bullshit that it was too scared to address what it wanted to address, which was this woman's article and her being let go. And instead decided to go after Collette and, for whatever reason at the end, Colette's ex-girlfriend. I have no idea. But I've seen black PR before. I know how it works. I understand propaganda. And this was really badly done. Somebody said, oh, I bet you it's Ezra from Rebel Media. I bet you he's the one that did this. No way on earth. Ezra may be many things, but he would never okay a video with production quality as shitty as this. With terrible sound, with terrible video, with this meandering narrative. If Ezra had made it, it might have been somewhat entertaining. I don't know who made this, but it's bad. And all it's going to do is the opposite of whatever it's, I guess, attempting to do. It's just going to make people think Tommy Robinson's an asshole and shitting on Mark Collette for no reason. It's so bizarre. This is so fucking bizarre. I just do not understand it. There's more to it. I know there is. I know there's more to it. And I'm sure it's going to come out. Terrible video. Should have just had 2 to 3 minutes of him talking about I'm not a Nazi. And left it at that. That would have been fine. I don't understand why you went after Colette. It doesn't seem to even factor into this, other than he talked to her that one time. He drinks liquor from a vase and dated a giraffe. I don't get it. Chat, you tell me. What am I missing here? I feel like I'm missing so much, I don't understand it. From Lupum, chat is saying the time code is 1305. Oh, okay. Somebody found it. Hold on. Let me pull this up. Just 1 second, guys. Yeah, because they went on and said, hold on, what was the time code on that? 1305. So 1305. We don't. Yeah. Later on in the video, like, we don't do that. We don't paint people with a broad brush. And they literally say this: Islam, full stop. Islam, the whole fucking thing, is a proselytizing faith backed up with a political supremacist ideology and the religious mandate to carry out acts of violence to bring in more followers and increase its power. How can you say that? How can you say that? And then get angry at people like Mark Collette and others that might look at, I don't know, some Jewish writings and come to conclusions from their religious doctrines, the Old Testament and the Talmud and all that, and say, oh boy, they really don't like Goyim, do they? Maybe they come out with the same opinion you do, but about a different group. I don't know, just some food for thought. What do I know? What is just awful. God, if you're going to try to fucking character assassinate somebody, do a good job at it. Like, can you get a professional to do it? This was just shit. This was just amateur hour shit. I mean, what the fuck did you spend the money on? Who wrote this crap? This was terrible. It just meanders all over the place. I don't know what the fucking point was. Tommy Robinson, I guess it's a 30-minute video telling us Tommy Robinson just fucking hates Mark Collette. Fuck Mark. You could have made the video so much quicker. You could have just had Tommy say on the prison phone, this is Tommy Robinson, fuck Mark Collette. Fuck him real good. Click. Done. 30 seconds. Quick video. Right to the point. Nailed it. Instead you get this. Ugh. So I look forward to watching. I don't know where this is going to go. Again, I get the gut feeling there's more to it, and it'll suss itself out later on. So it should be fun to watch. But it's just kind of a bitch move to make a video like that and then disable ratings, disable comments, change the title, apparently, because you figured, fuck it, let's go all in. Just very bizarre, I guess, is the best way to put it. It's a very weird video, and it doesn't compute for me. They could have said a lot of things in a lot of better ways. And if they wanted to be dicks and go after somebody, they could have done that so much better than what they did. It's just like it's lukewarm. It doesn't do anything really, except make them look stupid. And yeah, it's just surprising to me. So that's it, Chad. I saw it. I thought it was a really stupid video. And the dude's drinking liquor out of a vase. Oh, I love the scene though. I love the scene. Hey, Mark, did you say these things? I never said that. Well, let's check the audio tape. Okay, maybe I said that. By the way, I'm a Jew. What was that? That was funny too, right? You got this Jewish guy that's like, maybe I can reason with Mark Collette. I know the best way to do it. Let me betray him. The best way to convince Mark Collette that Jews aren't terrible people is to betray him and secretly videotape him. What? Oh, what a goof. This is just goofy shit. It's just goofy shit all around. From Ecstasy of Thinking, give us more Gale, you potato nigger. Yeah, I will give you more Gale. We'll get back to the normal stuff on Monday. We'll have Gail. We'll have stuff about Portland and Seattle. Cover the BitMarket stuff. Cover the TF2 economy implosion. Cover the cryptocurrency mods on subreddit getting doxxed for $10,000. Just a bunch of shit. But yeah, I don't know. Something about this video is just stupid, and I wanted to watch it with you. I figured, what better way to start the Saturday to have a nice, good, relaxed morning than watching a very bizarre video that really seems to have no more purpose than to tell Mark Collette to fuck himself. Oh, Mark, what did you do to Tommy? What, did you spit in his cereal? Like, you had to. There's got to be something. I don't know. What did Shazam write? They didn't even go over the article she wrote that they said they got rid of. So it makes me curious to read whatever it was. Again, the opposite effect of what they were saying. Okay, Chad. So stupid.